a knitting and crochet sweater pattern roundup. On today's episode, welcome to or back to Miss Crafts-A-Lot's lair. I am Barbie. I am your resident multi-crafter. I am today here with a roundup of different knitting and crochet patterns for sweaters. In my last crafty chat video, I was mentioning how I want to work through the sweater that I have currently on my knitting needles, so then that way I can start casting on a knitting pattern that is more season appropriate now. What is on my knitting needles is actually a t-shirt pattern. So I'm going to need to have something a little bit heavier, saying that now my weather here has put me into the fall and winter mode big time. So I have a pretty good list. I have 10 knitting, 10 crochet patterns. I will have time stamped below for each the knitting and the crochet patterns. Probably not each pattern itself, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be yapping that much about each particular pattern, but I will at least have it so that if you are not a knitting person, or you're just new to knitting, or you don't want to knit sweaters and you want to know about the crochet stuff, that's time stamped for you. So without further ado, I am going to show you my computer screen. Post-recording Barbie here. If any of these patterns are your patterns and you are not wanting them to be in this pattern roundup, please do let me know and I will take care of the situation. I will get those off there for you. So yeah, you can either comment below, or in my link tree there should be a link to my email where you can reach me to let me know. Please be kind. Thank you. So all of these patterns that I have today are from Ravelry, or I have found in the Ravelry search at least. So that means, yes, Ravelry. Ravelry is, if you are not familiar with it, Ravelry is a platform where knit design, or not just knit, fiber arts designers, local yarn shops, and makers can all converse, um, buy patterns. I have not seen anything about buying yarn, but then again, I haven't really looked for it. So that could be on there as well. I haven't really paid attention to that part of it, because I am generally here for the patterns, either to sell my patterns or to see other patterns. As you can tell, I have a decent amount of parameters for this particular search. Both searches are the same. They are for an adult fit sweater. One is knitting, one is crochet. That is the only difference between these two particular searches. I prefer to search patterns that have the photos attached, because that's just, I am very much kind of a judge a book, or in this case a pattern, by its photo. So I like to see what the finished product is supposed to look like. Also for yarn weights, because of what I have in my stash currently, I have chosen the weights in Sport, DK, Worsted, or Aran. That's what I have particularly um in my stash. These are all going to be free today. Either there is an option to buy the PDF or such. However, I decided that today everything is going to be for free. So without further ado, let's get started on what I found. So this is the knitting list. So for the first one, we have this Garten Pullover by Ellen Ferderer, I believe is how you pronounce it. What caught my attention with this particular pattern is this almost like I would call it an extended high angled V-neck in the back, which I think is amazing. I love how this looks. Also, another thing with all of the patterns that I have found and that I am sharing today, they are size inclusive. I wanted to find something that at least has 3 or 4 at least different sizes. If they go up to a 4 or 5XL, that is a bonus. So this particular one is a free Ravelry download. If you are unfamiliar with Ravelry, you can just come up here and hit download, and this brings up this particular pop-up, which is where you can pick out. In this case, there's multiple different languages available, so you are able to pick out the one that best suits you. So in the back we have this really nice V in the back, and then in the front is more of a rounded yoke kind of look. I am loving this. This is probably, honestly, I'm probably looking at this to knit this as my Christmas sweater for this year. So, um, yeah. And this one is using sport weight yarn. Super beautiful. I love that back. I love the back on this particular sweater. And all of the links, Ravelry, and if available otherwise, are linked in the description below. And the second one is the Sky Jumper. This particular sweater has this really fun boat neck to it, and I love the fit of this particular sweater. And this one is another one. Sizes available are up to 100 are 80 to 130 centimeters. I am not I have not went and did the conversion to inches. I know that 130 is generally about where I am. So that roughly gets you 2 to 3x in sizing. And this one uses DK weight yarn. This one this one will take you to another website to look at it, but another one that I think is pretty. And the third for the knitting patterns is the Fallen Leaves. And this has this beautiful rounded neck as well. The front is a little bit higher up than the back, it looks like to me. Um, I have are we like starting to see a little bit of a theme here with the knitting patterns? Watching those necklines. This particular one is a DK weight, but it's also obtained by holding two yarns, a lace weight yarn and a fingering weight together in order to achieve that DK weight. Also, the sizes again are, I would list this as being a more size inclusive. It goes from extra small up to 3XL. This is another really pretty sweater, one that's probably going to end up on my knitting needles over the fall winter. Coming in fourth is the multicolored slip stitch cardigan by Deborah Newton. This particular cardigan had me so intrigued. Check out the stitch work. I am absolutely amazed. I'm sure that it's a lot easier than what it looks like in the pictures. So this is something that if you want to try something new, this would probably be a nice little jumping off spot for something new. Kind of challenge yourself a little bit. I am just I love the color combinations that they use in the pictures. And I also love how it's just the stitches are amazing to me. And this one is you can get through Cascade Yarns. So I'm trying to kind of stay away from the yarn. It's hard. Y'all, it's hard, especially when you're looking for free patterns. You're gonna end up at the yarn company websites quite a bit, I think. But definitely one that I want to try and play around with. I actually had to do a double take. I thought it was crochet for a second. Here we are. We are on the hoodie raglan. So this particular sweater is hooded, which I am wanting to try another hooded sweater over the season. Sizes available are women's extra small to 4XL, men's from extra small to 4XL, children from 2 years to 14 years, and there's also a baby option as well when you hit the download button. This one uses DK weight yarn. I was thinking there was something I was missing when I was talking about this. The next one is the Cosmos sweater. And this particular sweater has this beautiful stitch work along the yoke. Circular yoke, top down in the round. My cup of tea, almost exactly. It's got these really fun stitches. There's another picture of that. These really fun stitches, and this is another one that is going to most likely end up on my knitting needles this year. It is a worsted weight yarn, so it will be able to, I think, be a warmer sweater if need be, if for those kind of chillier northern winter nights that we get here. So, yes, another free Ravelry download. And here we have the Wave Pullover. This one is another one from Cascade Yarns website by Deborah Newton. And, well, it is by Deborah Newton for Cascade Yarns website. There, if I could make that, yeah. This particular one uses an Aran weight yarn. And look at how fun this particular sweater looks. I am just seeing way too much inspiration, and I am, yeah, this is this is going to be another one that I want on my knitting needles at some point in time before this winter is over. Check that out. And I love the color work. I am assuming that, yes. So I'm assuming that it is they're using two different colors. They're using a variegated yarn as well as a solid color yarn. If that's not what they're doing, that's what is in my brain, and that's probably how I would end up making this particular sweater. Slightly less size inclusive. It is from size small up to 2X, but I think it's really pretty. So I am going to attempt it. And here is another sweater that if you are looking to try something new and expand your knitting techniques, this is the Third Coast sweater by Renee Culling. And this one was published in Knitty. This one I was intrigued by. I think that this is a really, really fun pattern as far as the stripes go. And add in the fact that there's a zipper in it. I have honestly not put a zipper in any of my knits. I have done crochet with a zipper many, 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 many moons ago. Have not attempted to knit a sweater or anything that had a zipper. So this is one that's kind of standing out to me because I think I'm ready to take that step. That is the Third Coast sweater. like I said, it uses worsted weight yarn, or if I think I said that, it uses worsted weight yarn. And this one is more size inclusive. It goes from extra small up to 5X. And then we have a basic raglan sweater. This one is by, and I apologize, Yuko Nagakura, I believe is how I would pronounce that. I am not good with foreign names. I am so sorry. This particular sweater, again, check out that neck. I love that neckline. It's a raglan, so it looks also like it is very beginner friendly. So if you have not yet knitted a sweater, this is probably one that I would think would be super easy for you to tackle as your first sweater. This one, I was saying it is a raglan. I am pretty sure it is top down. Yep. One piece seamless. And there is also a video tutorial available for this one. It is it's size small, but it is size adjustable, which this is one of the few that I accepted for this, just for the fact that I'm thinking that it should be fairly simple to size up. Finally, for the knitting patterns, I found this dragon scale. It's by Cordelia Vore. This particular pattern stood out right away to me when I saw it in the little thumbnails. I thought this was absolutely beautiful. I love how the stitching kind of adds to the shape as well. So I am another one that's going to be going on my list. This one is size inclusive. It goes from extra small up to 4XL, and there are plus like 3X plus. It only goes up to 4XL, but they do have plus for the rest of the sizes. I didn't really look into it that much. I don't know if that means that it's a little longer or not, but it is absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait to stitch this one up. And we have now made it through all of the knitting patterns that I have for this particular pattern roundup. So you know what that means. On to the crochet. So again, the parameters for this particular search was adult size sweaters. They needed to be furry. These particular ones are crochet. There needs to be a photo, because if you don't have a photo, I can't see what this particular finished piece is supposed to look like. Also, it's supposed to be in English, with the weights of yarn used being sport or DK or worsted or Aran. Those can be made up by doubling up yarns. There we go. That is my little blurb about this. So the first one is the Easy and Beautiful Flower Crochet Sweater. This one is by Kicks and Jacks Crochet, I believe is how they pronounce it. And first off, Newer Sweater was just released the end of August, so it's only a few days old. And this particular sweater, I love the row detail on this particular sweater. So I was looking over it. The particular sweater is a made to measure sweater. So of course I wanted to double check to make sure that it at least gave you the information to come up with that. And it does. There is in the pattern, when you go to click to go to their website to look at the pattern does have information about how to figure out the correct size, how to figure out how many stitches you need to do, and all of that. This one is made this particular one was made using black and white Aran Wade yarn, black and white, Aran Wade yarn. If I could speak, it would be absolutely wonderful. However, this particular sweater I think would be beautiful again in like a main color and then maybe a variegated yarn in between just to give the flowers a bit of a definition, to continue giving the flowers definition. I think this is absolutely, I was I was excited when I saw this sweater. So this one is probably going to be crocheted up by me very shortly. A lot of these sweaters are sweaters that I'm going to be making. If they stood out to this list, they're sweaters I'm going to be making. And then there is this color block sweater. This was the photo that is on the thumbnail when you are searching for your patterns. When you're searching patterns, this is the picture that pops up. However, I thought it was beautiful in this way. This almost stripy looks almost as if they were using scrap yarn almost. Put me into this mind of a scrappy sweater. And we know that right now I have me a lot of scrap yarn hanging around and a lot of little mini balls of yarn. So this uses DK weight yarn from small to 2XL. It is in both US and UK terminology, saying that it is a crochet pattern. That is important to know, as well as the fact that it does come with the gauge and all that jazz. It is a bottom, it is worked bottom up. Not a deal breaker for me. I would like to see this worked up in some of the yarns that I have. The last sweater put me into the scrappy sweater kind of mode, and this one kind of went along with it. So this is the Holiday Glow sweater, and it is by Jane Green. I did find this one does come from the hobby website using Aran weight yarns. The sizes available are from a small medium up to a 4 to 5XL. So that is a total of 4 sizes encompassing 8 sizes, if that makes sense. It is another boat neck. I have, if you have not been able to tell, I am kind of in this whole boat neck kind of mode. Next, we have the Alex sweater by Ashleah Shoemaker, I believe it is. This one, it was published in the Heart and Heart Hook Home website, or on the Heart Hook Home website. So this one is free available on the website. You can purchase the PDF download as well. This one is a simpler looking sweater, but still nice enough that I think that I would feel comfortable going out in it. I am kind of picky about what I wear out of my house. However, y'all see me just about in anything on this channel, as long as I'm put together at least. So this particular sweater is one that I would not mind making. The sizes available are extra small to 5XL, and it's using a DK weight yarn. Which brings me to, I believe this is the sweater number 5. This is the Bridgeport cardigan by Adita Ostrova. This one looks so comfy, perfect for those fall nights where you've had a long day, you just kind of want to relax by a fall fire. This one actually looks like it just screams to me that this would be perfect for something like that. And I have made similar cardigans to this. and they are super comfy to wear, like just when you need a big hug. It's on the Lion Brand website. It's using worsted weight yarn. Okay, so the sizing for this particular sweater is a little smaller. You have three sizes, which are small, medium, large, and 1X, 2X. So it is a little bit lighter on the sizing availability. And here is the Fruit Drop sweater. This one is by Sharon Goodwin. This one caught my eye as well. It is this beautiful wave textured, ripple textured body, but then on top, then you have the sleeves that are granny square. And I thought that was just amazing. This particular one, you have the website you can go to. That is where the free version is. You can also pay for the PDF file if you would rather do that. This one is sized from small to 5XL, and I am just mesmerized by this one. This one is another one that you could make using yarn scraps or leftover yarn if that is something that you're into. DK weight yarn, and the terminology is both US and UK. The next sweater that I have for you is the Little Late Pullover by I Need It Crochet. This particular sweater is worked from cuff to cuff, and it is also size inclusive. It goes from extra small to 5XL. And it's a cuff to cuff. So you start on one cuff, work the sweater back and forth, all like from the bottom of the front to the bottom of the back and vice versa, until you get to the arm where you start doing the decreases, and you then go to the cuff of the other arm. I love cuff to cuff sweaters. I think they are super fun. They're fast, and it doesn't throw me off that much as far as like time wise. It doesn't seem like it takes that much longer. I think actually it feels longer to make a top down or make a bottom up sweater than it does a cuff to cuff. So, another fun sweater. I love it in this tonal black and white ombre look. Mm, yes, I think I have found more. The amount of crochet patterns and knitting patterns that I came up with this, I could very well have easily like 15 or 20 more sweaters. And we have the rainbow wave sweater. This particular sweater pattern is again kind of made to what you need for your measurements. So in the pattern, it gives you the suggested hook size. You can use whatever yarn you want, whatever hook goes with that particular yarn, and it just gives you basic information as to come up with your particular sweater that you would like. This particular sweater is another one that I am wanting to make. I think this one is shown in the rainbow. This I think would look pretty both in rainbow, self striping. I think this one would be pretty in a multitude of different ways. So, like I said, this is the Rainbow Wave sweater by Becca Risk. And this particular pullover is the Intertwined Pullover by Yay for Yarn Patterns. This particular sweater just stood out to me so, like, another thumbnail that came jumping at me. So this one has this beautiful cable work on the side, as well as it looks like griddle stitch, I believe, or seed stitch, griddle stitch. That's correct. It has the griddle stitch for the rest of the stitches, but it has that beautiful cable that goes around from the back to the front. And I just think that this is amazing. I need the yarn for this. I think I need to go out and get enough quantity of one particular color in order to make this sweater. This one is one that I think would look better in one solid color as opposed to using scrappy yarn. But this particular pattern is sized from extra small up to 5X, and it uses sport weight yarn. I really don't have a large amount of sport weight yarn in my stash. It's mainly Aran, but this particular sweater, plus the fact that it's the griddle stitch, and that is one of my favorite stitches. So, or stitch patterns anyway. So, this is going to be one that's going to be definitely worked up. And the last sweater that I have for this particular pattern roundup is the Lace. I think I'm going to pronounce it that way. Lace turtleneck sweater. If I got that pronunciation wrong, I am sorry. By Carrie M. Chambers. This one is also a decent size for sizing available. It is available for sizes small through 3XL. It is an Aran weight yarn, which I probably have enough of one color for this one. Not exactly sure. Not a whole lot of information here about it. It does have a positive ease, but I do think that this is a beautiful sweater. I love that turtleneck too. Like me and the necks on sweaters today is, yeah. So that is my pattern roundup. And that brings us to the end of today's pattern roundup. I hope that you found something on this particular roundup that is inspiring you to take out your knitting needles and or your crochet hooks to make. Yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am working so hard to get to 500 subscribers by the end of the year, and if you could help me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye! I did a pattern roundup with sewing? No, not sewing. Nothing about these patterns is going to be sewing. Where did that come from? Good. And you know what? I do want to move that over just a little bit. I want to be in the center. Put me in the center, even if y'all have to see my ugly DVDs. It is another boat neck sleeve. Boat neck sleeve. Boat neck sleeve. Where did that come from? 9 out of 10 creators say that if you have your mic on, it's easier to record your voice. And my screen is so dust. I got to see my screen.